Welcome to a special edition of Trillium Talk across the Village Media Network. Ontarians will head to the polls on February the 27th. Earlier today, Premier Doug Ford met with Lieutenant Governor Edith Dumont to formally ask her to dissolve the legislature, triggering the drawing up of election writs. Reporter for the Trillium, Alan S. Hale, has been covering today's events and joins us from outside the Lieutenant Governor's office. Alan, welcome to the show. It's been a busy day. We'll talk about the formalities of the process in a second, but let's start with earlier today. The Premier held a press conference announcing the details of a new shared prosperity agreement between the province and Arrowland First Nation. What can you tell us?
Well, it is an agreement with one of the 9 First Nations that is around the Ring of Fire mining site, which is a few hundred kilometers north of Thunder Bay. It's one of for anybody who doesn't know, the Ring of Fire is this great mining project that Ontario has been trying, but not really succeeding in getting off the ground for more than a decade at this point. And part of what needs to happen to make that possible is to build roads going through the wilderness up to the site. And there are First Nations along the way that don't have any road access to, there's no connection to the Trans-Canada Highway. So they've been, a few of them have been signing agreements and trying to get the province to build roads to their communities as they go up to the Ring of Fire. And one of the agreement today is that Arrowland First Nation, which does already have access to the Trans-Canada Highway, has agreed to support a road that will run north from its community to another First Nation called Martin Falls, which is about halfway to the Ring of Fire. And that's basically, and it also comes with some money for economic development and stuff like that. But really, the agreement to have the road go ahead from Arrowland to Martin Falls is the big takeaway here.
So, Alan, how important is this deal to the ongoing development of the Ring of Fire?
Oh, it's very significant, but it doesn't mean that the Ring of Fire is going to happen. This road from Arrowland to Martin Falls is like the first major leg of the road to the Ring of Fire, and it reaches about halfway. There needs to be another leg that goes from that extension up to the site itself, and then that one will also have a connection to a reserve called a Webequay. But that is still to be determined. We're not really there yet, but it is very significant. But even the chief of Arrowland First Nation, Sonny Gagnon, was very, very insistent this morning that just because he's agreed to the road and to take this funding doesn't mean he's approved of the Ring of Fire. And that is still going to be a big hurdle for the government as they try to get this thing going, because there's still a lot of disagreement among the First Nations around there, and getting everybody on board is still going to be a challenge.
Okay, so at the press conference this morning, Alan, once the floor was opened up to the media, to your credit, was first out of the gate with the first few questions, and you seemed to catch the Premier off guard a bit when you asked about an accusation against one of his MPPs. Who does it involve? What is the accusation, and how did the Premier respond?
Well, I was asking on behalf of one of our coworkers, one of our other publications, Newmarket Today, who has this great exclusive report this morning about a month ago they reported that there was a labor complaint against Dawn Gallagher Murphy, who is the MPP for Newmarket Aurora. She's been there for one term so far, and basically someone lodged a labor complaint against her, saying that she was harassing that person at work. This person worked for her. What Newmarket Today has reported today is that complaint has been settled, but because the original complaint got attention from our company's reporting, a lot of other people who used to work for Dawn Gallagher Murphy have also come forward. They've contracted a public relations firm, and they are coming forward with more allegations that she was unreasonable. She would lash out at people. She would call people at unreasonable hours, and just was a bad boss in general. So, because we knew this story was coming, and I'm here, so I went and I asked Premier Ford what he thought of these allegations and whether he still supports Gallagher Murphy to run in Newmarket Aurora, and he hadn't heard, even though Newmarket Today has reached out to his office. and he still says he supports her. So I guess for the moment at least, she seems good to go to continue running in Newmarket Aurora. But, we'll see if this story ends up affecting that campaign at all.
Has there been any official response from Gallagher Murphy's office at this point, Alan?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, let's get back to Ford's meeting with the Lieutenant Governor. Can you walk us through, Alan, the process itself? What happens and what does it all mean?
So this is actually the Lieutenant Governor's office doors here at the legislature. Maybe about an hour, no less than an hour ago, Doug Ford walked in there, shook Edith Dumont's hand, and they closed the doors. And behind closed doors, he asked her to write up a writ of election, which means that it'll dissolve the legislature, which means that nobody in the legislature has a seat anymore. That means it becomes required that we have to hold an election, elect a new legislature. So that writ is coming tomorrow on Wednesday, and that'll be the first day of the campaign. That'll be the actual election will be actually happening. Everybody will start their campaigns. All the election rules kick in, and that'll be what happens next. And then we still have a lot of parties that haven't nominated all of their candidates yet. So they have until February 6th to do that. That'll be the deadline. So they have about a week to get that done. And then the election day will be on February 27th. And they'll have advanced polling at some point before that, but we're not really sure when that will be.
And what's really interesting about all this, Alan, is voters in the province are about to do something that hasn't been seen in over 140 years, and that's electing a provincial government in the month of February. In fact, it's been about 100 years since an Ontario election was even held during winter months. How much more difficult is this to do for the parties?
Well, it's just unpleasant, isn't it? It's just like it's cold. We're at the very, very dead of winter. People don't want to go outside canvassing, so there'll be probably some volunteer finding issues. How do you hammer a campaign sign into frozen ground 300 times over a day? One MPP I talked to has told me that people just don't want to even come to the door when they're canvassing because, you're just going to let the cold in. So, and then the other issue is how many people are going to go out and vote on one of the coldest months of the year. So it does seem like it could set up for low turnout. It's just there's a reason people don't do this. It's unpleasant. It makes things more difficult. It's winter. It's Canadian winter. And we all know that just getting anything done in the winter is never going to be as easy as doing something in the summer. And running a massive operation like a provincial election is just the same.
It's going to be a very long 4 weeks, Alan, and you and I will be spending a fair bit of time together as the campaign unfolds. Looking forward to the coverage. Safe travels, and thanks for doing this.
Thanks so much.
Alan S. Hale, reporter at the Trillium. For complete Ontario election coverage, be sure to check out the Village Media outlet in your city. Become a Trillium Insider today at thetrillium.ca. And starting today, watch special episodes of Trillium Talk every weekday right here from the campaign trail with our team of Trillium reporters. For all of us at Village Media, thanks for watching.